let them remain dependent on the old few workers, because otherwise the old workers will find it impossible for them to perform the responsibilities, to discharge the responsibility towards the newcomers. Ask them to produce their own workers, train them, and have separate camps within Jalsa, within Khudam al-Ahmadiyya Ijtima, which are looked after entirely by the new Ahmadis. And this time they experimented it in Germany in Khudam al-Ahmadiyya Ijtima with amazing results. Those who became active with a sense of responsibility, they're completely transformed in their attitude to everything about Ahmadiyya. They feel much more responsible and happy and contented. So these are things which have been experimented at large scale in Europe. I'm not talking of Africa now. So if these things can happen in Germany, why can't they happen in United States, United Kingdom? And I believe they can happen, and it's high time you started making them happen. Thank you.
So, just one point. As far as dialogue go, the mechanical preachers are the ones that don't achieve any results. It's the one that inspire people with love of the Jamaat and make them fall in love with the Jamaat that are the most successful. The one that has can impart a real flame of desire into the people that they're preaching to, and that's what happened to me, because the people that were preaching to me were full of this fire and this love, and this transferred itself into me. If they'd been cold and mechanical, then I probably wouldn't have responded.
Inshallah, I'll pray for you, particularly in this regard, but also remember that when someone works in a field, it is the bite which gives him new strength. And by the word bite I mean with reference to cricket. When a bowler has a bite in the beginning, then he becomes unplayable. A new bowler is born out of him, and he dominates the game from then on. If he doesn't get the bite, then he becomes, very dull and just a non-entity, without any potential to change the fate or the result of that particular game, I mean. So you can see them, crestfallen, trying their efforts as best as they can, but always defeated and tired in their attitude. But those who have bites, they rise and they become gigantic, and as such they feel as if they can always do it. Never again will they meet with a failure, but next time they do. The difference between a good Da'i-Ilallah organizer and these people is that there is a quality of permanence about those who have bite in religious affairs. Once God gives them this, they never lose this quality. They go on increasing rather than losing it. So let's hope and pray for you and for all others that Allah bless them with this special quality. And thank you for reminding me of this, because prayer is the most powerful instrument in achieving results. If you forget about it for a while, then your efforts begin to lose the potential to bear fruit. While the efforts may be the same, once you are suddenly reminded, oh God, I have not been begging specially for you for this, similarly the things begin to change immediately. And this is the essence of my entire experience in human efforts in relation to their being fruitful, in relation to their dependence on prayer. If you make this triangle working, on the one hand, efforts must be made seriously and with wisdom. This is your duty. On the other hand, you must keep an eye on their being fruitful or not. And if so, turn to prayer. But better do not even take the risk of their being fruitless. If you are constantly aware of the important role of prayer in all your religious efforts, I am sure you will be surprised to see the results as completely out of proportion to whatever you had achieved previously without the help of the prayer. So remember this. Thank you. Well, Assalamu
I noticed on one of your MTA programs for children that at the end on two programs, at the end you called upon the children to show their appreciation by clapping. I had up to this time understood that clapping is not our practice, so could you enlighten me on that, please?
Right.
Thank you.
You have forgotten to notice that I asked girls to clap, not the boys. And you happen to forget that the instruction to clap given to ladies, even of grown-up age, was given by Hadhrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself. So I wonder why you have taken exception to this.
I'm not taking exception, sir. I'm just inquiring.
What I wanted to make them realize is that clapping is not forbidden altogether by Hazrat Muslim Maud, and it is not, number one, a fundamental article of Muslim faith. It has a significance which, when noticed by Hazrat Muslim Maud in relation to certain habits, he took note of that and instructed Ahmadi men not to clap during their expression of praise and lauding of a good athlete or a sportsman. It happened at one Khudamal in the Ijtima, I remember. And he said, from now on, say Habbaza or Marhaba or Allahu Akbar. And there also he gave reference to the same instruction of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which I have mentioned. He said that during the namaz, he encouraged, not encouraged, he admonished men to say Subhanallah if the Imam has forgotten something or made a mistake. But he advised or admonished ladies not to say anything verbally, but clap their hands. So clapping is something which has been specifically approved with relation to the expression of joy and happiness and approval by the ladies. Remember this. And with reference to the first instruction of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was done particularly with something in view which is not ordinarily applicable to other situations. Otherwise, you will carry the instruction away from its area of applicability. The area of applicability in that context is while during the prayer, men hear ladies' voices, because during the prayer the concentration should be completely towards God. The concentration of mind and whatever passes in your heart should be dedicated unperturbed, purely, entirely to God. When you hear a lady's voice, that lady's voice has a quality of charm about it anyway. So when you hear a lady say Subhanallah, suddenly man is not likely, but he has the danger of falling prey to some satanic, say, whispering into his heart,